Let's go!
Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome in to the Patrick Johnson Show here on this Wednesday edition. PJ not back yet. He is starting to feel better. However, he is calling the East Carolina basketball game tonight, and because he is calling the East Carolina basketball game, he did not want to do an hour and a half of this followed by a 2-hour broadcast with his voice coming back. So Philip Pilkington, and we're starting with William Grover, but William's got to go over to the arena, and so Dom is going to tag in towards the end of the show, hour and a half edition leading into East Carolina basketball coverage, and so Dom will tag in at some point as he is producing back in the studios. We're going to have Jay Sonnhalter, the color analyst on the ECU Sports Network, join us. And for the first time producing the Patrick Johnson Show, we welcome in DeMarco. DeMarco, how's it going, man?
I'm only a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. But I'm okay. How y'all doing?
You know, William, I couldn't tell he was nervous by his voice, though. He doesn't sound nervous.
He sounds confident. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He sat in there plenty of times.
Yeah.
So I got full trust in DeMarco today. As long as that playlist button's off.
It'll get off. It'll go off. It'll go off.
You know who I don't have confidence in? William to set up a camera. Look at all this headroom. Like, I can't even touch the top of the screen. I can do jumping jacks and still be in the front. William, how did you set up this camera?
You said to put it out some. I said you could see the top of your laptop, and you said, space it out some.
I thought you had me like I was like in this little box. I mean, it's the top of the laptop because you've got it tilted up to the heavens.
It's a tall camera.
This is why William is in sports and he is a in front of the camera talent, not a behind the scenes guy like our intern Ryan, who we met yesterday, who likes camera work. I hope your construction management's better than this camera work, though.
Oh, 100%.
DeMarco, do you believe him?
Listen, I think that he can do anything he sets his mind to, but maybe just this camera today was just a little setback, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'll redeem myself at the break. I'll try to fix it.
All right. See, I appreciate you trying to be nice, DeMarco, saying anything he sets his mind to, but let's not stroke the ego. We've got enough egos here in the sports media world. The minute we start stroking each other's egos, we're all really going to get some big heads on us. So I appreciate you trying to be nice, but he already thinks he's hot stuff.
It's a lot of stroking going on. I don't like this. We might need to stop that.
You didn't like how I was worded in that, did you?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I'm sorry. Throwing fuel on the fire that is his ego. Do we like that better?
That sounds better. It sounds like I don't got to get no baby oil or nothing like that. It sounds real. It sounds nice. Let's do that. Let's stick with that.
He doesn't have to hit the bleeper in there.
Oh my goodness, this is great. By the way, everybody if you like DeMarco, check him out on the Morning Rush on Thursdays. Are you doing it tomorrow?
Thursday, yes. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'll be up. I'll be there with Mark and Laura on the Morning Rush. You can catch me there. You know, they love me over there, and I love to be there. So
they do.
All love.
They were hyping you up this morning. When I was filling in for PJ, I walked in there during our news break, and they were raving about you. So they love him over there on the music side of things. That's DeMarco's, like, that's when he's in his element. Like, he can do the producing, of course. Sports aren't really his thing, but he always gives us the fun one-liners and plays Hold My Beer and all that. But the music side of things, that's when he's in his element. So he's definitely found his place here at IBX Media.
Oh, for sure. There's so much to enjoy.
All right, boys, let's do it. 5 at 5.
One moment.
Do.
Here it is.
May very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
Ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Patrick Johnson Show 5 at 5, leading you into network coverage of East Carolina basketball. They will be hosting the UTSA Roadrunners. We're going to do a quick preview of that. But first, we're going to tell you about last night's women's game. The Pirates go down to New Orleans and defeat the Tulane Green Wave 65-61. Kennedy Fauntleroy with 23 points, and they are sitting in sole possession of second place, only behind the Rice Owls. 10-2, William. I think Kim McNeil felt really good about this roster. I don't know if I'm sure internally you always have to have confidence in your team to have this record, to do this well. But, this has really been a fun women's team to watch. And, look, I think we all have to have our eyes on them come conference tournament. It is going to be a one-bid league. Well, maybe Rice could get in with that large. East Carolina's net not nearly high enough. But could Kim McNeil make her second appearance in the Big Dance?
I think she could, and like you said, this team is fun to watch, but what's even more fun about this team is listening to Kim McNeil from either the sidelines or on interviews. The passion that she has and the fire that she drives into these players is something that you really it's almost an art form that you can study. And, our men's team can maybe take some advice from that, but it's really something to look at and love, and because these players, they will go out there and fight for her on that court every day, and they've proved that with that 10-2 conference record. And I think that there's a sneaky chance the Pirates could get into the tournament.
I think they stand a better chance now than they did the last time they actually made it. Last time they made it, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch Danae McNeil, be the point woman in a 1-2-2 trap and steal the ball and hit wide open layups. But you can't have sustained success that way. And this team, they can run multiple different offensive sets. They can score inside. They can score outside. They hit the medium range jumper. They shoot free throws well. They have a great half-court defense. This team is a much more complete basketball team than the last team that went. I'm not trying to take anything away from that team. They're a really good team. Obviously, made the NCAA tournament, so I'm not trying to dog that team. What I'm trying to do is talk about how good this team really is.
Yeah, this team, they seem to have all their pieces in place for sure, and they're balanced across the board, like you said, and it's just something that it was surprising to me coming into the year. I didn't really see this record happening, and that they're at the place where they are now. It's just something. It's like a must-see game when the women are on TV or on the radio. It's just something you have to tune into to see how it goes.
Yeah, they will be on the road this weekend. They travel up to the city of brotherly love to take on the Temple Owls. All right, over to the men's side. Home game tonight against UTSA. The last time UTSA won a basketball game, we had not carved the Thanksgiving turkey yet. That's right. They have not won one since Tuesday, November the 25th over Georgia Southern. They have also beat Denver University. That's very impressive in hockey and lacrosse. They have beaten the College of Biblical Studies and Southwestern Christian. William?
I don't think it surprises anyone when you look at these teams and you assume that they would have beat them. These teams that they've gone against aren't particularly known for their athletic teams and sports at their universities. They're probably more prestigious in academics.
Yeah.
But these teams...
Prestigious in studying the Bible.
Yeah, or the theology. But I think ECU has a very strong chance to win tonight, and we can get to an 8-16 record. This is a must win for the Pirates, to say the least. Yeah,
I'd say so. So they have lost to SIU Edwardsville by 17, and they lost to Abilene Christian by 11. I will say Abilene Christian to make the tournament right before COVID, I think, maybe right after COVID.
And you said SIE Edwards?
Edwardsville.
I've not heard of them.
Southeastern Illinois Edwardsville. Or no, not Southeastern. Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, I think is what it stands for. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, out of the Ohio Valley. Maybe it's Southern Indiana. I don't even. See, that's the thing. They're a D1 school. It is D1.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. What do the Pirates have to do tonight to be successful? Look, I think this is one of those games. Obviously, Jordan Riley has scored 32-plus in each of his last three, William. Mm-hmm. And you want to get that from him again, but this is a team who doesn't rebound well. They don't score inside that well. I think this is a game where Gio, who's been, by Gio standards, not that good lately. He's still one of the better players on the team, but I think he's been underperforming by his standards. And, Dimitri Gardner shoots the ball really well, but he can get to the rack and finish in traffic as well. I think if those two can honestly carry you tonight, yes, you want Jordan to play well. You want him to be a vital factor, but I don't think the pressure has to be on Jordan Riley tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you look at the minutes that Jordan's been playing these past few games. We've seen games, I think it was 2 games ago, he played all 40 minutes against FAU. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he's constantly playing above the 30-minute mark, which is a lot to put on a young man's body like that. And that's something that hopefully we won't see tonight. I don't think that we'll need him to play that many minutes tonight for the Pirates to win. Gio, like you said, he hasn't been putting up Gio numbers per se, but he's still averaging 9.6 rebounds a game, which is helping on both ends of the ball. But someone I'm excited to see tonight is Corey Calker. I want to see if he's going to be able to get into that point guard position if Jordan sees less minutes on the floor and really thrive with distributing the ball to guys like Dimitri Gardner for an outside shot.
That's a good point, because I think Calker's been playing better of late, but he's not been running the point as much. Mm-hmm. And to your point, it's because Jordan's been running up more.
Yep.
Corey runs it when it's high tempo, when it's a true set. Jordan runs it. I think if Jordan Riley plays 33 to 34 minutes tonight, I think that's maybe a key to the victory, because that means that I think the Pirates win by 20. And I think this is a good opportunity for Corey Calker to then kind of re-get into that role, because I think the game's finally slowing down for him. They say it takes the JUCO kids to about mid-January, and really he's looked better for the last about 3 weeks, which it would have been mid-January.
And we saw this last year, too, when Jay Shane came in.
Yeah.
Jay Shane was very timid last year when he first stepped on the court here, and I think it's just a slight environment change. I know we're not the biggest basketball program with the biggest arena, but still, when you go there and you play against these teams, some teams that have more name value than other teams that you've been playing against, you're going to be more timid out on the floor, and your production might go down slightly, but eventually they're all going to reform back into the player that they were and show why they're on this stage. And I feel like Corey's been showing out recently, and with 4 turnovers a game, not 4 turnovers, 4 assists a game, and just over 1 turnover. I mean, he's not doing bad. No,
that's the one thing I will say. There's been some times the games looks like, especially early, it was happening 100 miles an hour to him, but when it's happening, he isn't part of the flow, but I don't feel like he panics. And that speaks a lot to his character and his drive and his belief in himself. Because when the things are going, when the going gets tough, Corey might not play well. But again, to your point, he's a point guard and he's averaging 1 turnover a game. Like, there's something to be said. Yeah. Oh, there's the last few games. Okay, but still, there's something to be said for that. Yeah. So, I don't know. We will see. We will talk to Jay Sonnhalter more about that game later on. I talked to Sonny earlier, and he said he got to the arena around 4, not 100% sure what time he'd be available. I just shot him a text. So we may get him in segment 2. We may get him segment 3. We're just going to kind of go off Sonny's availability since he's doing us a favor. Beggars cannot be choosers. Let's stay on the hard court. We are going to go to the NBA. I know a lot of our fans or listeners are not big NBA people, but notable local point of interest here. Kinston's Brandon Ingram will replace Stephen Curry in the All-Star game. So first All-Star game made for Brandon Ingram. And, Kinston High School, William, always seems to put out some great basketball talent. Really, that area in general just puts out really good basketball talent. You got Bam Adebayo from the area as well. Obviously, he was on the Olympic team this past time out. And now Brandon Ingram filling in for Curry. I guess Curry's hurt, right?
Yeah, Curry's been battling through injuries. That's why they've had a surplus of guards getting minutes over there with poor Podminski and Pat Spencer.
Okay. So, look, man, Brandon Ingram will play for the United States. Remember, this is not an East-West game. This is a U.S. versus the world game. So that makes it kind of fun. I still don't think I'm going to watch, but I just can't get in the NBA All-Star game. Like baseball, yes. Hockey with the 3-on-3 tournament, yes. This, I don't know.
It's up there with the Pro Bowl. It's not as bad as the Pro Bowl for me for NFL.
Yeah.
I did not watch the Pro Bowl, but I might watch parts of the All-Star game. I always like to watch the 3-point contest.
Yeah, the skills challenge I watch.
The skills challenge is pretty good. The dunk contest has lost some of its value over the years to me just because I feel like it's getting more bland and you're getting less superstar name value.
Yeah.
So they're just bringing out Mac McClung from the G League. Again, third year in a row. Let's not give him a real contract, but bring him out for the dunk contest.
Oh, my goodness.
The All-Star games, I don't know if I'll tune into that. Brandon Ingram is a good piece, though. I really enjoy. He's been really good this year. He's been very solid. I was surprised when the Pelicans traded him. I don't know if that's a year ago, 2 years ago. But when they didn't bring him back, it was just a bold move. I mean, heck, if they had him right now, they could be competing for a play-in spot with their talent. But he's been doing it's good to see him get the recognition that he deserves.
It is, yeah, Brandon Ingram. Now that he's finally, it seems like putting on a little weight, and he's becoming a better player because he was 160 when he showed up at Duke as a freshman. He left there at 190, but he still looked the same.
He's like 6'9", 6'8", right?
Yeah, he is. So yeah, he's a heck of a lot closer to 7 foot than he is to 6 foot. I can tell you that.
Right.
So yeah, good for Brandon Ingram. Good for the town of Kinston. PJ wanted to talk about it. PJ's a Kinston native, so I promised PJ we would bring it up. All right, sticking with the NBA, we're going to get to the NBA quick, I promise, but there was a fight the other night in the Pistons-Hornets game. Hornets' big win streak does come to an end at the hands of the first-place Detroit Pistons. They will take on the Atlanta Hawks tonight down in the ATL. They will do it without Diabate and Miles Bridges, who got a 4-game suspension. Jalen Duren of the Pistons, who started the fight. Duren, if that name rings a bell, was a Memphis Tiger, played here. Actually, I think he was on that team that was number 1 that we beat and rushed the floor. Or they weren't number 1, but they were ranked high.
They were high.
Yeah. It was Houston, I think, that was one we beat them during COVID. He started the fight with a headbutt. Only got 2 games, and then Isaiah Stewart from the Pistons also comes off of the bench. He gets 7 games, kind of standard to get the most when you come off the bench. But Diabate and Bridges definitely deserve some suspension here, William, but I'm going to let you rant. The guy who starts the fight and headbutts somebody, which is way worse than slapping somebody or shoving somebody, only gets 2 games.
Yeah, so the way this play went down is it was just a standard play into the paint. There was a shot that went up, and then Duren, after the play, headbutts Diabate. And Diabate gets in his face about it, and they're jarring at each other. They're chirping a little. And then Duren pushes him in the face. And, of course, Diabate gets mad at that. So he starts chasing after Duren, kind of how Isaiah Stewart did after LeBron a few years ago, where he got in trouble big time. And, I mean, it took about 3 people to hang on to Moose. And it was funny because Diabate, his first name's Musa, everybody says the Moose is loose at most of these Hornets games. Well, the Moose literally got loose this time, and he was breaking through arm tackles trying to get to Duren and eventually got restrained. Miles Bridges tries to go after Duren as well, and that's when we see Isaiah Stewart fly off the bench and punch Miles Bridges in the face, and then Miles Bridges starts swinging. It was a whole Malice at the Palace ordeal, but that's what it takes to beat the 9-win streak Charlotte Hornets. I mean, you see it here first, and hopefully they can bounce back tonight and get a good win against the Hawks.
Hey, like you said, it was a 9-game win streak, and it did take that because it was a close game. It was a
very close game, all the way down to the end.
It wasn't like they knocked the crap out of them. That was tough. And look, the Hornets now are proving they can beat good teams and hang with good teams. Sorry, I'm texting Sonny back. It's hard for me to say one thing and type another.
But those players, each 4 of them, got ejected early in the third quarter, which really did make an impact on the game. I mean, this game went down to the final minutes with a key turnover being in the last 30 seconds when the Hornets were down, I believe, 8 at the time. The Hornets lost by 5 or 6. I don't remember. It was
6.
3-point. It's 6. Okay,
6.
so it was a 2 coming off of that late turnover at the end. But this was an important game, and I mean, Miles averages about 20 points on the year, and Diabate averages almost over 10 rebounds, and he was on pace to get close to 13, 14 that game. And it's just those are key players for that team, and when you lose guys like that and they're losing a bench player and Isaiah Stewart, it makes a big difference.
Now, Duren has been their second best player, but still, you missed 2 good players.
Oh, yes.
They lost 1 player and 1 guy who does not see the floor. All right, we are going to stick with hoops on the other side. Just got the text back from Sonnhalter. He is ready for us to call him. So, Jay Sonnhalter, the color commentator for the East Carolina Pirates basketball team on the other side. Patrick Johnson Show rolls on after this.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers, better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wade, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson. Hey, I look better, William. Thanks for fixing the camera there. I appreciate that. I'm in a little box now. All right, back to the Patrick Johnson Show. Philip Pilkington, William Grover. We got DeMarco producing. And we welcome in the color analyst for the East Carolina Pirates on ESPN+. That is Jay Sonnhalter. Sonny, how's it going, man?
Phil, well, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I've been filling in for the P-Man on both the morning and the afternoon show. Surprised my voice is holding up, But you might have to hard carry tonight. He said he's feeling better, but, I don't know. He had to skip out on this to save his voice. He said it gets worse as the day goes on. You ready to do some play-by-play if you have to?
I know. We got to be captain of the ship. We got our teammates down a little bit, so we'll pull them through, but you sound great, though, brother. I
appreciate it. I mean, hey, Emmitt Smith played hurt in a Super Bowl one time with 2 broken ribs and a punctured lung, and he did fine. So if he can do that, I believe in PJ.
Yeah, we'll just tape him up, give him some water. He'll be good to go.
Yeah, what's the most hurt you ever played, Sonny?
Boy, I've had some Michael Jordan flu games.
Okay.
That were pretty rough, and then I got a shot in my ankle at the time. So
Ooh.
that was pretty difficult. Yeah. But I ran off the field, and I had a broken leg, but I didn't know I had a broken leg. So that's not really playing, but that's, showing fighting through adversity.
Yeah, as William just whispered, Bo Nix. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I pulled a Bo Nix.
or Bo Nix pulled a Jay Sonnhalter.
Right, exactly. That's. I like how you worded that.
All righty. Well, we will get to the basketball side of things now. East Carolina hosting UTSA tonight. So William and I were talking about this during the break. I'm actually going to ask both of you guys this. Who's the pressure on tonight, Jay? Is it one of those things, ECU, it looks really bad if you lose to a team who hasn't lost or won a game since prior to Thanksgiving, but also if you're UTSA, there's the pressure of you don't win this one, you might have a goose egg in that win column at the end of the year as it relates to conference play. So is the pressure equally on both teams, or is UTSA just playing with house money at this point, whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say there's probably more of a desire and more of a want to from ECU side because, at least you have a couple conference wins and you're trying to make the conference tournament. UTSA, it's just been a tough season, and they've got injuries right now, so it's been a hard road for them. And I would say, in this ball game, which team wants it more is going to be the team that probably wins it. And ECU throughout this year, even though some of these games haven't gone their way, they've always gone out there and played hard. And for UTSA, you just have to wonder, it's a long road trip. You haven't won a conference game in forever. You're having a tough season. How motivated are they going to be? And yes, they want to get that win, but if they get pushed down or knocked back, especially early on in this game, how much fight are they going to have? So I don't know if either team's feeling pressure, but if there is pressure there, I'd probably say it's more on East Carolina's side because you can't lose to this team at home.
Is that how you feel about this, William?
It's hard for me to say particularly who's going to feel the more pressure, but I think they're both under a little bit. UTSA, this might be their only chance to get a victory this year in conference play. I mean, when you look at the other teams, they're not nearly in the same category as ECU and UTSA, but there's also some pressure on ECU, and I think especially with the job security of Mike Schwartz, I feel like this is a must-win game because we've proven ourselves on the road at big dogs like North Texas and FAU, but we haven't seen much at home against teams that should be beatable.
Yeah, haven't won one since before Christmas. You brought up Coach Schwartz there earlier. Jay brought up this team playing with passion. And look, Sonny, the wins haven't been there, but I will say, I was talking to Coach Schwartz one day, and we were talking about just the culture that he's built here. And look, he recruits a certain type of young man, and it is a type of young man that plays 40 minutes, that doesn't give up. And when this team was over, I think a lot of teams, the wheels would have fallen off a long time ago. And this team really has shown fight, I would say, in damn near every game this year.
They have. And I mean, I know that for a fact, and you just stated it there. I mean, these guys are fighting, they're playing hard, and, of course, the end result and the goal is to win. And the wins haven't been there the way we all would want and hope for. But the team is playing hard, and they're practicing hard. They're competing. They care. They're in it. Just hasn't gone their way, and maybe in some games they haven't been good enough. But I think that's something that it has been evident to me, and it's something I really respect a lot. Is these guys care? The coaches, everybody's playing together as one. It just hasn't been to the level they'd want it to be. But I'll say these guys care, and I don't anticipate that changing at all. And I mean, they've been in some tough spots. They've been on the road. They've been in some difficult circumstances as far as losing streaks, guys being hurt, and you can't tell by the way they try, the way they practice, the way their attitudes are. And I hear that coming out of the program and seeing it firsthand. And I've been impressed with that because when adversity hits, it's very easy to to back down from it. But these guys have played hard throughout it, so I respect it a lot.
Another thing, guys who play hard, speaking of Jordan Riley, and he has played 40 minutes or almost 40 minutes, it seems like, all year, but especially these last few games. Sonny, if you get up by 8, you get up by 10, I know you don't want to just feel like you can take your foot off the gas and cruise to victory, but we were talking in the first segment about what could be a key to a Pirate victory, and I think if by some miracle Jordan Riley's playing 33 to 35 minutes, that could be a good thing. And now, I mean, obviously you don't want to sit him for an extended period of time, but hey, you catch a whistle at, let's say, 8:40 left and a half, you got that media timeout coming. Do you think there are more opportunities to rest Jordan, or at this point are you just so damn desperate you might run him out there for 40 regardless?
Well, I think you kind of see how things are going here early on, but I think at this ball game, if things are looking good, maybe instead of giving him a minute break here, just like you said, you can maybe give him a couple minutes. And then if you're winning this ball game and the lead is stretched out, instead of him playing till the end of the game, you can take him out with 2-3 minutes left, and that's all in a perfect world tonight. But I do think if you can give him any rest or any time that's where he can sit on the bench and, not put himself out there for injury, even if it's only a couple minutes extra, just maybe 35 minutes instead of 40, I think that is vital because that does add up the wear and tear. But I'll tell you what, Pilk, he's the best athlete I've seen this season. And, he's going to have a future professionally at some level after this year and on basketball. But, I mean, if he wanted to switch to football, he'd get a free agent contract in football just based off of his athleticism and his size.
I agree with you. In a Pirate uniform, and really any team the Pirates played in this conference, he is the best athlete. Now, I do want to remind you, Sonny, that in the preseason, Duke and UCF played, and I said, hey, man, you want to go to the game? And you're like, you could have seen, like, Cameron Boozer play, and you'd say, well, no, I take that back. Jordan's still a better athlete than Cameron Boozer, so maybe you wouldn't even have seen a better athlete play. But, you turned me down, so you still owe me a trip to some sporting event. I will drive to your stomping grounds, the Triangle. We got to go to a Canes game or a college baseball game or something. You still owe me because you turned me down. You didn't have anything going on that night.
Well, let's do something inside. It's too cold. So we'll do a Canes game and then a Duke game. How about that?
Okay. Well, yeah, we know how you are when it comes to cold. Under 80 degrees and icicles are hanging off your nose. I'm surprised you can go to a dang hockey game, but
I'm allergic. I'm allergic to 60 degrees or below.
Oh my goodness! Hey, you should come in the IBX Media Studios when Patrick's here, and he walks in and turns the thermometer down to about 12.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he turns it so you can see your breath.
Yeah, he does.
I know.
I'm a happy medium, I like to think. Now, the one thing that does kind of worry me, and Jay, we appreciate your time, so we'll get you out of here. This will be the last thing. I know you guys are prepping for the game there. One of the things that does worry me, they're not a phenomenal three-point shooting team, but they do have three guys averaging over 30%, and three-point shooting is the great equalizer. I think they've got a few guys on this roster that if everything's falling their way, they could have a 5 for 11 night, and that could be something that keeps them in this game. So, lately, Mike Schwartz's team has done a much better job at guarding beyond the arc. I think it's something they really struggled with early in conference play, but am I wrong for that to be a little bit of a worry tonight?
You are exactly spot on correct. That's the concern, is their three-point shooting ability, and they play fast, too. So if this turns into a ball game where the Pirates are turning the ball over and then they get hot from the three-point line, that's their recipe to win this game. So, there is a road, a pathway for a win, but they haven't been complete enough to rack off wins this year. But that is how they're going to win on the road. If they're able to pull it off, it's going to be because of their three-point shooting ability and then the ability to get on the run and get turnovers. So that's what the Pirates have to be aware of and make sure they run them off the three-point line and protect the ball.
Well, based off what I've seen the last few games, I do have faith in that. If they would have played this game about 3 weeks ago, maybe not. Anyways, well, thank you for your time, Sonny. Have a good call, and I'll swing by and say hello at halftime, I guess, because I will not be there probably in time to see you before the game.
Perfect, yeah. Come see us. Thanks, Pilk. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you, Jay. That was Jay Sonnhalter, analyst for ESPN Plus. Hear him on the call tonight alongside Patrick Johnson. On the other side, we will wrap up our 5 at 5. We got some other things we want to talk about, a little more football and baseball related on the other side. More of the Patrick Johnson Show next.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wade.
Beep, beep. Move over, Buttercup. We're back to the show.
They're back! And I love them!
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show here on 94.3 The Game. Philip Pilkington and William Grover and DeMarco filling in for the P-Man. Number 3 in our 5 at 5, Sam Darnold has won the Super Bowl. He got a nice bonus for doing so, $178,000. However, the game was played in California, where they have a jock tax, which is when opposing athletes come to their state and play a game, they must pay by the days in which they spend there. Now, you already pay taxes for your game check in that state. For example, you sign a $17 million contract for the year, you're not getting paid $17 million. You're getting paid $1 million for 17 different games. And now you pay state income tax wherever the game's played. So if you're a home game, you play it in your home state. If it's an away game, you play it in that state. Completely fine. Everybody's got their own taxes. No biggie, because you earned the game check in that state. But California, as well as Williams told me now some other states, but California being the highest, has a crazy jock tax. And because the team was there for 6 days, he has to pay $249,000 in taxes, but he only received $178,000 for playing in the game, because it doesn't go off what he earned there. It goes off his entire yearly salary, because it was a postseason game, and his yearly salary is whatever the 105 divided by 3 is, so I guess that would be 35. Yeah, that was easy. I was about to act like it was going to be really hard math. That was easier math as I said it out. So, Boomer Esiason has come out and said they should no longer play Super Bowls in California because of this, saying we shouldn't give them our tax dollars. Boomer Esiason not political in any way, but I mean, I think he's sticking up for the athletes here. So, William, I'll let you read off the other states. And does it say anything about the percentage? Is it different in other states?
Well, it says that California has the highest rate at 13.3%. So athletes earning $10 million, they owe $1.33 million in taxes. It doesn't say anything about the percentages of these other states, but it says that Illinois has retaliated against California by imposing its own jock tax on out-of-state players. And I don't know how that's retaliating on California or more so on the players.
I'd say it's piggybacking on.
Yeah, retaliation may be a loose term there. New York, also known for their high taxes, has a form of jock tax but does not throw out a percentage. But other big market states, such as Florida, Texas, and Nevada, they do not impose a jock tax, which makes them favorable for athletes. Tennessee had a previously imposed jock tax of $2,500 per game, and that was settled in 2017, so I do not believe they have it anymore.
Okay.
But I think the per game fee, if there's any way to do this, which I'm not on board with, I do not think there should be a jock tax. I think a per game fee is a more reasonable side than a percentage to an extent. I mean, $2,500.
Tough thing is this: I'm a practice squad player. You're the starting quarterback, and we're paying the same amount.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, but I think it's got to cap it somewhere. I mean, credit to Boomer for coming out and saying this. And it's funny what 3 states you named there are the ones where we're paying these extra taxes. Go freaking surprise on those. But anyway, sports show. Sorry, but look, we're not trying to get on the politics side of this, even though we kind of are. But this is ridiculous. You're already charging them taxes on your game check, which is completely fine. Again, I agree with that. But you already have one of the highest state income taxes, so you're charging these players more than they do when they play. And I have no problem with you charging them on the game, but they got charged extra because they were there for 6 days as opposed to a normal game where they just fly in, play the game, fly out. Because you got to do all the media days and the hoopla that goes along with Super Bowl because, it's a show and not a business trip anymore. And it's supposed to be a business trip. So I don't know. I mean, does the NFL fight back? Does the NFL? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think Goodell's got the guts to fight back because he's a wuss. But do they say, hey, until you get rid of this, we're not going to schedule Super Bowls there anymore? I mean, hopefully the players' union will step in and say, look, we're not going to play Super Bowls there anymore unless they drop this. And if you schedule a game there, we're just not going to show up.
Yeah, I don't see how it benefits the sport. It's a really weird, I don't know if loophole is the proper term to say, but it's a really weird thing to impose onto a player when they're not going to be in your state. How long were they even in San Francisco? 6 days.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would impose 13.3% on their entire salary. Maybe if it was on the bonus that Sam Darnold got for winning it.
Yeah, I have no problem with them taxing him on the $178,000 that he won. Yeah, tax them. That's fine.
But his whole salary is a little bit egregious because he's only there for 6 days, and I'm sure he resides somewhere near Seattle. He's just going to go back home, and he's not going to spend any more money in your state.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the rest of the offseason, but probably not for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
He's going to go chill out with his family because he's been on the road for nonstop.
Yeah, exactly. And he already played a couple games in your state. Obviously, played against the 49ers, played against the Rams. He may have played one of the I guess the Chargers are the only AFC team left. Wow, that's weird. That shows the Raiders are in Nevada now.
They are.
I just I knew it, but I didn't when I was thinking about travel, I still think of them in Oakland.
Who do not impose a jock tax in Las Vegas.
They do not. They get their taxes through other things. Yeah. Many, many other things. So they're good. They don't need to impose a jock tax. And they also get a lot of money through court fees because people like to break laws when they go to Las Vegas. So those court fees, man, they stack up. I'm just saying, dude, I had a friend get a speeding ticket. It was like $80. The court fee was like $210. It was the court fee that got him. It's $80, whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, that's and that was not in Nevada, but I was just making a point. So, all right, we'll see. Hey, man, I hope the Players Association stands up to Goodell. Somebody needs to stand up to Goodell, anyways, and then Goodell can stand up to Newsom. So that's all we're going to say about that. Moving on to number 4, Montana linebacker. I'm going to have you say his name so I don't botch it because you're good at names.
Let me see. I got to pull it up.
Oh, dang
Solomon Tialu'upupu.
Tialu'upupu. You think you got that right, DeMarco? Does that even sound right? Or
is his name really Poo-Poo? I mean, it might be. I'm not. No shame.
Tialu'upupu.
It's his last name. His first name's Solomon, so they gave him a normal first name.
I like the name Solomon. Like Grundy, born on a Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But his last name is Tiuliaupupu.
Tialu'upupu. That okay. Well, okay.
Yeah.
That sound okay.
I think you got it right. Good job. Better than I am. Don't know why. I worst time, guys. Quick off-side story. Worst time I've ever had in my life as it relates to sports. I had to do PA for a volleyball game. Oh. Parker texted me, "You PA for volleyball?" Oh yeah, I can do PA for a volleyball. Like I've done football.
Sounds simple.
Dude, we were playing Towson. Or I don't know, we were playing. It was one of those multi-team events. Every girl on the team was from Latvia, Lithuania, or Estonia. It was those 3 countries that are grouped right together on the northwest part of Russia. I didn't get a damn name right. That was rough.
And you were probably taking pauses in between what you're saying the first name, pondering over this last name again, and just had to go with it.
That's what I did during pregame, lineups. Once they got going, whatever I had said the first time, I just full send with confidence. It was like whatever, a Vic or Vitch or Ski or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, this guy, Solomon, he is a linebacker at Montana. He has been granted his 9th year of college football eligibility. Now, he was injured his first 4 years when he was at USC, so he never actually touched the field. He has played in 3 seasons, significantly played in 2. So this will only be his 4th year actually on the field. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, everybody's supposed to get 4 years, but the dude's a year younger than I am, and he's still playing college football. I guess he's younger than Luke Larson, so there's that. Yeah. Luke Larson played this year at Villanova. I don't know. Where do you stand on 9 years?
I don't know. I feel like at a certain point, you just had to go tell the guy to get a day job. 9 years is an extensive run at the program. I mean, you got to think about, they're probably letting this guy stay because he's just racking up fees there at the schools. He's having to pay to be at these schools and in these programs. He's just paying for the love of the game right now, just to stay there and recover and rehab.
Dude, he's playing on scholarship.
At all the schools? Full ride?
I mean, Montana's good at football, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be one of the favorites. They're already one of the favorites. They're really going to be a favorite now that North Dakota State took a hike and went to the FBS.
True.
9 years. I just don't know if I want to sit in a classroom if I'm going to sit in a classroom for 9 years, I'm going to walk out of there and I'm going to be opening somebody's heart and doing surgery when I get the heck out of there. Like, I ain't going to be sitting in no desk job after 9 years of college. I can tell you that.
You got to think about what is he doing? Like, what do we know what his major is, or I guess undergrad, grad, whatever he went for at these various universities?
I mean, he started out USC. USC's not a real easy school to get into. Now, I will say he's a football player, so I'm sure there was some, but I don't know.
But it just raises the questions when you look at Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah.
Where he was denied his 6th year, I believe.
Of eligibility, yeah.
And he played what we were debating was either D3 or JUCO. I'm not sure we came to a consensus there, but still.
I guess here, maybe they should just make. I'm tired of the grant year, not grant a year. How about this? Let's just make a rule. You get 1 year in which you can play 4 games or less, and then you get 4 years where you can play.
I like it.
Now, if you get hurt early, I would say with less than 4 games into one of those other years, and you take a medical red shirt, I say you get 1 medical red shirt.
Yeah. But
if you don't,
one academic red shirt, 1 medical red shirt, and then 4 years to play.
Yeah.
I like it. Because I think once you're getting to 9, and I think we've seen players that have had 7 before, but 9 would be the new record that I've seen.
I think so. 8's the highest I've seen. There was that kid that was a tight end at Oregon, and then ended up somewhere else down in the southeast, Auburn maybe, or Miami or something like that.
And he had the same issues where I think it was knee surgeries and stuff like that. There's a difference between being an old player in college football, like Luke Larson, and then becoming old while playing college football.
That's true. He showed up older than everybody else, so that's that. Alrighty, you know what? We're gonna punt our original number 5. We're gonna do what you came up with as a fun topic as our 5th, because what I had for number 5 is just way too long, and we'll probably do a segment like this closer to MLB opening day anyways, because it was over-unders for MLB. So let's take a break, and we come back because we only have a few minutes left in the hour before we have to take the hard break just before the top of the hour. We are going to talk about our favorite movies that are about the Olympics. All that and more to come on the Patrick Johnson Show.
Makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in color. and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville, we've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow-cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service rep.
Remember, get the podcast of the show on the IBX Media app or where you get your podcasts.
I listen on my Apple Watch. Smart speaker.
Listen while you work.
I listen everywhere.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Alrighty, welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show. We got a 5-minute segment here for you, and our 5 at 5 segment. But this is not a news story. It's just fun. William Grover, Philip Pilkington, and we are going to do our favorite Olympics movie. First off, William, have you been watching the Olympics at all?
I have been watching a little bit of Olympics, but I would honestly say I've watched more Olympic movies recently.
Okay,
more Winter Olympic movies.
At least you're being like somewhat, and I did watch Miracle. That's the only one I've watched recently. Is Miracle getting into hockey? First hockey game tomorrow against Latvia, 3:00. So
I'll tune in for that.
Yeah,
I'll be watching.
We had a pretty good day today. Brought home some medals. Had one slip away in ice dancing. Had one slip away in doubles luge, but
which that sport boggles me a little bit.
Doubles luge, and two dudes in really tight clothes laying up on each other. Yeah,
but
mixed doubles luge, I can get a little more behind that. All right, what are the movies you saw on this list?
So there's a lot of movies on this list. There's 20 movies, but starting out, we see Cool Runnings and Miracle. Obviously, probably one of the two most well-known.
Yeah.
Movies, and then you get Chariots of Fire, which is I believe it's Summer Olympics. That one touches on, and then there's the Unbroken, which I didn't realize, I didn't know what it was, but Philip told me about it, which it looks really cool. It's got a good story behind it. It's about later qualifying in 1936 Olympics when World War II breaks out. One of the guys has to enlist in the military. More recent movie here, we see Eddie the Eagle, which is about the ski jumper Michael Eddie Edwards, and Hugh Jackman's in it. It's a very good movie. I enjoy that one a lot. Then there's a couple ice skating, figure skating movies that we see. My favorite one, Blaze of Glory. Can't beat that one.
Yeah.
That one's a good one. Very funny. The Iron Lotus. And then you see Race, which is a 2016 biopic about Jesse Owens. I didn't realize that one came out. It's got Jason Sudeikis in it. Looks good. Probably will have to give that one a watch. Then you get down to some other ones. I mean, you get to a little bit of a stretch here with the Mighty Ducks D2. But that's the Junior Olympics, but still a pretty good movie. I like that one. That one that's what I think about every time I think about Iceland, Greenland. I think about how they say Iceland's actually green and Greenland's full of ice.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. And then we get to a few older movies, ones that came out and took place in the early 1900s. And
all right, well, we got if it's nothing we've heard of, we got 2 minutes left. So we're going to debate ours. All right, so my big, I really liked Unbroken, great movie. But even though it's based on, so he was an Olympian, went to Berlin, the famous Berlin Games that Jesse Owens won the gold at in front of Hitler, all that. And then he was a POW in a Japanese war camp. But it's really more about him being a POW. Like it's a great movie. But and it is technically an Olympic movie, but I view it as more of a war movie. Like if I was ranking it, I would rank it more of my war movies than I would my Olympic movies. But I can understand how it's both. But it is a really good movie. All right, but I'll let you wrap up here the last couple minutes. But I'm going number 1, The Miracle on Ice, baby. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. We haven't won a gold medal since Lake Placid. Until this year, baby. Come on, we believe. Get the NHL guys in there. As long as Ottinger or Hallebuck, whoever ends up playing in net, can be decent, I believe we can beat the darn Canadians.
Hallebuck is really good.
I know.
You really convinced me about this Unbroken movie. I mean, it looks really good. Crashes a plane in the Pacific, survives 47 days adrift, directed by Angelina Jolie. That's very interesting. So I'm definitely going to give that one a watch, but I have to go with my favorite, probably for mostly nostalgia factor, Cool Runnings with Leon Dougie Doug. That's just you can't beat 4 Jamaicans in a bobsled. Just a great feel-good movie. John Candy's in there, R.I.P.
He's awesome.
He's awesome in that film. They go all out for glory. They don't get far because they're riding in this rinky-dink bobsled. And I know that it's a true story movie that's mostly made up, but you can't help but feel good about it and love everything that it stands for.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like I said, John Candy was awesome.
And they're back in it this year, the Jamaican bobsled team.
Did you watch the opening ceremonies where Snoop Dogg was interviewing them?
Yep.
Dude, that was awesome, man. That was so fun. I'm gonna watch the Jamaican bobsled. I mean, I watch bobsled anyways, but I would definitely. All right, well, while we've got 30 seconds left in this segment, what quarterback famously spotted John Candy in the stands before leading a game-winning drive in the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, that's all you right there.
I'll tell you, he won a lot of Super Bowl rings.
Tom Brady?
John Candy was dead before Tom Brady made the NFL.
Yeah, true. Was it? I wanted to say Montana. Was it Montana?
Yeah.
Oh.
The comeback kid. All righty, that will do it for the first hour. William, appreciate you coming on. Safe travels over to the arena.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was William. And Dom will be with me for the half hour that leads into network coverage. We'll be right back.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you. Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show. Philip Pilkington now being joined by Dom Kasolki. How's it going, Dom?
Yeah, we got a little switcheroo going on. William's going to the game. Now I'm back. Been back for a couple days, and now I got 30 minutes. I got an hour the past 2 days. I got 30 minutes today, and then I'm doing the game. Going to be on the scoreboard updates. So a lot of college basketball going on today. There were some good games last night, so excited. UNC did not pull one through after the emotional win versus Duke, and then they go lose in Miami. So that's always fun.
I think yesterday both teams had a hangover.
It did feel like, because Duke should have beat Pitt by a lot more. I know Pitt was home, but it doesn't matter.
I thought Duke and Carolina looked about even yesterday. The difference is Miami's
a lot better than Pitt is.
Yeah.
And Miami had 18 wins, now 19. I think they have more wins than Carolina does, so they're still a really good team, especially at home. I think UNC is just a much better team at home. When they play Duke, Cameron Indoor, I don't think they're winning that one. I think it's going to be a split series. You were saying before the season it was going to be split. I definitely think it's going to be split.
Yeah, I do too. But all the pressure's on Duke. The pressure's always on the team to not get swept. Like, you hate, regardless of where the first game is, you hate losing the first game. So
at least you guys weren't home and lost the first game, and vice versa. If Carolina was home and lost the first game, then that's extra pressure.
Yeah, interesting statistic here. The loser of the season finale has never won the national championship.
Oh gosh, really?
Yes.
That's weird to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be a thing.
I mean, now, to be fair, they only have a combined 12 national championships, but it's just amazing that all 12 of those teams did win the season finale, regardless of whether it was home or away. They won the second
I guess
game.
That's just the momentum going into the tournaments.
Now,
basically.
There has been years, remember the one year Carolina won after they lost to Villanova? They beat Duke in the season finale, but Duke beat them in the semifinals, the ACC tournament.
Oh, okay. So
and they still went on to win that.
That doesn't count as the season finale.
Yeah,
okay,
regular season finale.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that was when I was a bigger UNC fan before I came to ECU. That was probably the most heartbreaking game as a fan. That Villanova UNC game. That was a heartbreaker.
Because Carolina wins that game in overtime. All the momentum was Carolina.
Yeah. That Marcus Page shot is engraved in my brain.
The greatest shot to be forgotten, I guess. The greatest shot that never was.
Yeah, a double clutch deep three, midair, crazy
to tie the national championship.
Giving me chills just thinking about it.
Hey, you got your revenge at least.
Yeah,
but just kind of talking about this, man. The other night Arizona finally gets beat. Mm-hmm. I think we knew it was coming. I thought originally going in it would be that game. Then when I found out Darren Peterson had the flu, I was like, but maybe Kansas is in a good spot that Darren Peterson's been so banged up, and then when he's healthy, he's got cramps, so he sits on the bench half the time the whole second half. And then
I don't know what's up with him.
Flu, it's not good, but if he's healthy for the tournament, you got to put Kansas. I don't know if they're quite in the conversation of Arizona and UConn, but they got to be in that next tier. I mean, the top part of that next tier.
They are at that tier at least, maybe even in that tier, but the end of the ladder in that tier. I think it's weird where they're able to win games like that without Darren Peterson. It feels like the team has to come play together even more, and you're not relying on that star player that's going to be either the number 1, 2, or 3 pick. That could be a whole separate conversation. I didn't think they'd beat Arizona without Darren Peterson. Obviously, was a big upset. Council has looked really good without Peterson. He's looked good all year. But it's weird that Peterson has sat out for 3 of their biggest games of the season.
Yeah.
He did play the UNC game, but I think he sat out against UConn
and Duke,
and then Arizona.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose, but it felt like at one point in the season he said he was not going to play anymore. Now he's playing again. He's not playing against good teams. He has flu-like symptoms. It feels like he's dodging right now. He's trying to get that number 1 pick.
The way you said that, I think you should see a doctor, because if you have flu-like symptoms or sores, you said the way you said flu-like symptoms, it sounded just like one of those disclaimers at the end of some
commercials.
Big Pharma commercials.
Well, maybe that's what I'm bound to do eventually.
Maybe, look, if you get a side gig as a voice, if you are starring on a radio show and you get a side gig as a voice actor, take that side gig money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, somebody's got to voice them commercials, right? Actually, AI is going to be voicing them commercials. What are we
in
kidding
the next
ourselves?
2 years or so?
Yeah.
It's already starting.
Yeah.
Sucks.
All our jobs are being taken. It's going to be like the movie WALL-E. That's what we're going to live in. We're going to be all fat.
Everyone fat in the air.
Yeah.
Living and
floating around.
Yeah, on their phones.
We're like, like now we drive around in cars, like, oh, there's the Grand Canyon, or there's Mount Rushmore. To be like, oh, there's Mars.
Yep.
Oh, there's Venus. So, yeah. Oh, hey, we went back past Earth to get from Mars to Venus. So, yeah.
Well, I guess we don't have an exact. We were going to talk free agents a little bit. We don't have an exact topic, but just since we were talking about Peterson, who do you think the 1, 2, and 3 picks are going to be? I mean, there might as well go through it.
Might as well. I mean, if Peterson's heart is in it and his meetings go well with his teams, he should go 1.
I see that. I think AJ Dybantz is the best player in the draft.
I'm going AJ
I think
too.
he's disgusting. I think he's carrying BYU. I mean, he's an athletic freak, 6'9". He's lengthy. He can do anything on the court. I think Peterson's going to go 2, and then I think Boozer 3.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
No, and I think you're right, or I'm right with that 1, 2, and I think Boozer will go 3. I don't know if I love Boozer at 3.
I was curious on how you were feeling about him because he does have a jump shot. He can hit the jump shot, so if he's able to be a stretch big, then he's gonna work decently in the NBA. But I didn't know how you felt as a Duke fan who cares more about him than I do. If he's NBA ready.
And it's a weird thing to say what I'm about to say. The way that Ryan Cockburner's playing in the NBA right now makes me feel like there is some hope for Boozer to be really good. And not that I know their games really are similar, but their defense is similar.
Okay.
And my worry with Boozer was, first, could he shoot? Okay, he can. Sure, great. You've got to play defense on Wemby. Mm-hmm. You've got to play defense on these other guys who can also stress the floor and shoot. He's never on the other team's number 1. It's always Malik Brown or Dame Sarr. The NBA is such a spread out game. I'm not saying he's not going to be great. Is he the number 3 pick in this draft? Yeah. This is a damn good draft.
It is a good draft.
And, so I guess let me just pull up the mocks here and kind of...
Defense is huge nowadays. I mean, it's positionless basketball.
Exactly. You got to be able to guard 1 through 5.
You really do. And I think if he's going to have a role in the NBA, he's going to have a role, but if he's going to be a star in the NBA, I think you're going to need to have him on a team where you have a bigger center that can play defense on those type of players that you were mentioning. I think he'd be more of a 4, a stretch 4 is where he would thrive. At least that would be my prediction. Is he'd be better in being able to stretch the floor and being a point guard forward type of player rather than just a straight up 5.
Yeah, no, I agree. And because of what you said, the point guard position, because everybody does need to be able to facilitate, it's kind of declined, but I still almost wonder, would I take a guy like Kingston Flemings over him out of Houston? Just because, again, could the defense become a problem?
I think just the name value of Boozer and the fact that he's probably going to go deep in the tournament or somewhat deep in the tournament.
Houston's going to go farther than Duke.
I guess they both are probably going to go far. I still think Boozer's going to go ahead of him, but I can see him.
He will. I'm talking about whether he should. No, we both agree he's going 3. Okay. I'm talking about who do we think should. If we have the number 3 pick, and now obviously we don't know who the team is, so we don't know what the roster looks like. If it's like the Wizards, they got Trae Young, but they're not going to go point guard. But, I don't know. Flemings or, heck, even Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, I like Caleb Wilson, but I also think he's not super polished just yet. I think when he plays a good game, he's making a lot of tough jump shots. He's not creating that many easy shots unless it's, right at the rim. So I don't think he really has a 3-point shot right now. And I think his jump shots are very contested. He's lengthy, so he's able to do that. But until he's able to create more of a shot for himself and get the 3 ball at least to a decent percentage, I don't think he's going to be as good as the top 3 guys. But I do think he'll be really good in the NBA as a role player at some point because of his length and his defensive tenacity.
Yeah, gosh, this is such a stacked draft. And it's actually stacked with guys we get to watch every night in college.
Yeah.
It's not G League Ignite and
exactly.
from Croatia and
what do they have?
Australia.
Do they have Wagler from Illinois anywhere in the mock draft? I really like Wagler.
I've been kind of looking at a couple different ones, and I wanted the one. I picked this one because it was one where there wasn't articles below each guy's. So this one right here is Peterson, Boozer. I don't know how I feel about that. Tabonsa, Flemings, Wilson, and then Wagner at 6.
Wagler?
Wagler.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Wagler at 6.
I didn't know if there was someone else.
No. Gosh, man,
I think
Wagler at that position too.
Who, Wagler?
Yeah, to be 6'6" and be a guard.
Yeah.
Which, I guess that's normal now, but still, he plays long, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize I actually have seen some people hating on his game. I didn't realize that. I've really liked him so far this year at Illinois. I feel like he can carry the load for Illinois. Just watching that Purdue game, he dropped 46. I think last night against Wisconsin, they lost in overtime. He dropped 30 plus. I mean, he really has to do a lot. He's their whole team, and they're a top 15 team in the country. I think the one bash on him that people were saying was kind of the same thing I was saying about Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson's athletic, a freak, but Wagler not being able to create easy shots. He's not like a super athletic guy that's going to blow past NBA type defenders. So they're a little worried that he might be like kind of like a Zachary Rishisher from the Hawks #1 pick, where he's really good where he's playing right now, but is he going to be able to translate it into the league?
I think he's going to have if you pair him with a point guard who is very agile when driving, where teams feel like they have to close in on him. Yes. Because it doesn't have to be a kick out. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a kick out into space.
Yeah.
It can be a kick out into contested jump, contested shot. But he's not great off the dribble. So, yeah, I just think if you pair him with a good point guard. But, I guess a lot of these guys, and I like this debate because we're talking about why they shouldn't be picked instead of why they should.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the good way to talk about it is to talk about their flaws, because none of them are going to be Michael Jordan.
Dibansta might. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dibansta's a freak.
He is. Oh, my goodness. I wish I could seen BYU play this year in person, man. Those guys are so good. He is. They're good at offense. They cannot play defense.
Yeah, no, they just let up 94 to Baylor last night. Baylor was home, but they had like a 16-point leader at the end, and Baylor just hits a 14-2 run and makes it a game.
Well, the thing is, man, I don't think they're phenomenal anyways. I don't think they're they're kind of in that second tier. Mm-hmm. I think they're in the bottom of that second tier just because they can't play defense. Now, that offense or that conference has got great offense. But when I talk about great offense in the Big 12, first name that come to mind sure as heck ain't Baylor.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I like this. I actually kind of like, since we're leading into basketball coverage, this has turned into a basketball debate, because I do think we have not talked a lot of college basketball as a whole on this show. And now that the NFL's over, this is the perfect time to be having this conversation. So let's kind of talk about the tiers, I guess. So I'm going UConn, Arizona, obviously, and I'm putting Houston. I think those three, to me, right now, are my 100% favorites.
I think you can add Michigan into that.
Yes,
I think Michigan with Lindenborg has been incredible, and Elliot Cadeau has taken strides to be a lot better of a shooter this year in that offense. So I think they're a great team as well. The Big Ten in general has surprised me with how good they've been overall. They have a lot of good teams. I really like Nebraska. They just had a big comeback against Purdue last night. If anyone watched that game, incredible game. They forced it to overtime. They did lose to Purdue, but it was like a 20-point game with 10 minutes left, and they just went on run after run, and Purdue was able to fight back. I think Nebraska is a well-rounded team that can shoot threes.
They're great. My worry with them is they haven't. Now in some of their biggest games they've been thin. So I do get that. But they haven't beaten a really, really good team yet. It's not that I don't think they can, but if they get into the tournament and they get into, say, the Elite Eight, is that black cloud still hanging over their head that it's like, well, we haven't beat a team with a single-digit number next to their name
Well,
yet.
they did once. They played Illinois twice, and they beat them the first time. The second time they did lose, which was a close game.
Illinois was, I guess, 14, I think, at the time. So they haven't just top 10. But
yeah,
Illinois is probably a top 10 team.
But I think that's the best win they have.
Yeah.
But they've played really good basketball overall against good teams. But Michigan, they lost by 3. Purdue,
without 2 players.
Mask, their big man who can shoot, who really carried the load yesterday. Without him, that's huge. And Michigan State. I think they played Michigan State.
They had back-to-back losses. I think it was Michigan and Michigan State, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So that's tough having back-to-back losses like that. But they were 20-0 at one point in the season. So
yeah, but yeah, and by no means am I not saying they can't make a run. But I guess for me, so much is going to be talked about them going to tournament. The only power team to have never won an NCAA tournament game. Again, yes, they've been banged up, but still haven't beaten a really great team yet. And I think everyone else on this list has beaten a great team. So for me, I have to put them in that second tier. I have to put them down there with Duke, with Texas Tech, who I think is really good when healthy.
Texas
They
Tech
have
is good.
really been banged up. To me, they're in that second tier. Are they the top part of the second tier? Yeah, probably. But to put them in the same conversation, in my opinion, as Michigan, as Arizona, UConn, and Houston, they're not the top team in the second tier for me. It's probably Kansas, a healthy Kansas, but I still think they're down there with Kansas, Duke, Purdue, Texas Tech, I think, is part of that group. I don't have the full top 10 in front of or top 25 in front of me. I was kind of doing it off. So if I'm forgetting a team, I'm sorry. I'm not.
I think Michigan State's probably in that second tier as well.
Michigan State,
But I actually had it wrong. Nebraska did beat Michigan State earlier in the season on January 2nd by 2.
Okay.
It was Michigan and Illinois were the back-to-back losses. Then they beat Rutgers and now just lost to Purdue. So they're playing the best teams in their conference, and they're playing them super close, but they haven't been able to win the game late in the game. So it's been tough for them, but without players, I think they can make a sneaky run in the tournament, being one of those 4 seeds, 3 seeds, I would imagine. 3, 4, 5 is the range I would put Nebraska, and I think they're going to make a good run.
You wonder, too, is everybody going to see him and just say kind of what I've said and laugh and underestimate him? And
yeah.
And now Iowa State, I think, in that next group, you said Illinois,
That's a tough
Michigan
loss
State.
they had last night.
That was.
They can't lose that game.
No. But I still think I'm still putting them in that second tier. I mean, I think worse than Duke is, who's nothing without their number 1 player.
Yeah, but they just lost to TCU, and now they have to play Kansas, Houston, and BYU in back-to-back games. I mean, their season could turn around like that, and they're going to make the tournament. But
and then if I remember correctly, they have like 1 cupcake, and then they play Texas Tech.
Oh, I just had it up.
You just had the next 3.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
next 3.
4 of the next 5. It's the next 3.
Yeah, they'll play Utah and then Texas Tech and Arizona, and then ASU.
Utah's not bad.
No,
they're not good, but they're not bad either.
That's a tough schedule to end it. I mean, Iowa State has kind of played the easier part of their conference. They lost to Kansas by 21 earlier in the season, and other than that, they've been playing the easier teams in their conference, and they've been winning for the most part. But then a loss to TCU, lose momentum. Now you're playing 4, 5 top 20 teams in the nation. It's going to be a tough road for them, but if they can get through it, then you could see them making a run later in the tournament.
Chicken and rice tonight for dinner. Williams texted, this meal is elite.
All right. That's this should be the game I should go to because I'm trying to cut, and they're trying to
chicken and rice.
Give
there
healthy
you go.
stuff. Finally, they're usually burgers and hot dogs.
So while we're on this topic of really, really good teams, now the team I'm about to mention is not really, really good, but let's just have fun. We got 7+ minutes left. Miami of Ohio. How far do they go in this thing? Real quick, while you're kind of thinking about it, let's just pull up, and I know we can't totally go off Joey brackets all the time, but let's just see what the latest bracketology has. I mean, he's going to be pretty close, within, one seed probably either way, and especially he's pretty good at the top. So let's see where he has Miami of Ohio. And, we're just going to play a hypothetical game. We're going to look at where he's got them in this entire thing and just kind of go through who they would play. I mean, obviously this isn't the exact tournament or the exact bracket, but it would be kind of the fun thing. And why am I scrolling through and not seeing them? They've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding them too.
All right, he has them as an 11 seed.
Wow. They're number 23 in the nation and 24-0 on the season, and they're an 11 seed.
That means to me, man, they're 1 or 2 losses away from not getting an at-large bid.
Yeah, well,
I guess their out-of-conference schedule was just absolute cupcake.
Yeah, let's see.
I still thought they'd have been like an 8 or a 9. Oh, gosh. Old Dominion, some school with an abbreviation that ain't D1. Air Force, Mercyhurst, Arkansas Pine Bluff, UNCG, another non-D1 school, Maine, UNC Asheville, Eastern Kentucky, Wright State. Conference play, 1 game, Ball State, and then they played Merrimack College, and then... At least I think that's the Merrimack College logo. But no, it was another non-D1 school, Milligan. I don't want to have Merrimack's logo. And then right back into league play.
Yeah, it hasn't been
a good resume.
Really that many. I mean, there's been dominant wins in there, but then there's been a 3-point win, 6-2, 2-3, all against teams that aren't that great. So, I mean, they're 24-0. I think they're going to win their conference. It looks like they are. I guess they could choke it, but assuming they win their conference, I guess an 11 seed is fair enough. I mean, if you get a tournament bid, then you're in the tournament. It doesn't really matter what seed you are. You're going to play good teams eventually. So
he's got them right now against Clemson. I'm going loss on that one.
Oh, yeah. Clemson's winning that game.
See, my thing is I thought with Miami of Ohio they'd be like an 8, and I was like, oh, let's see what this 8-9 matchup is. And then I look it up here in Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson is not an easy game. Even the ACC is really weird this year. It feels like Clemson might have a great game, and they look like one of the top teams in the ACC, and then it's like, y'all just lost to State? Not that State's bad, but State hasn't really played that. That's probably State's toughest team they played in the ACC, and now State's about to play Duke, Virginia, UNC. They just lost to Louisville. Those are like 3 of their next 4 games, so we're about to see what NC State's made of.
That's going to be interesting. I don't think this is going as well as they thought it. I thought they thought it was going to be all sunshine and rainbows. They thought they were going to come in. Well, we won't be better than Duke. We won't be better than Carolina. We won't be better than Louisville. But you know what? We'll be the 4th best team in the conference.
Yeah, which
think again.
A record by record in the conference. I think they're up there, but they really haven't played that many great teams in the ACC. They did beat SMU. I guess Clemson's the best, and SMU's their 2nd best win in the ACC. So they've had a couple decent wins, but I think the best is yet to come for them of who they're playing, and they just started that with Louisville, and I think they're going to drop in the conference tremendously.
They're 9-3. They are in 3rd place. They are half a game ahead of Miami, a game ahead of Louisville, and a game and a half ahead of Carolina.
But that's what I'm saying, is that they're about to play the toughest teams, and I think it's going to drop where it looks better than it is right now. But,
William is listening on the app, I guess. He said State's already played Virginia once. At first I'd read another word that started with an S. I thought he said State sucks. He is a State fan. So, yeah, they've already played Virginia once. They've lost to them.
Oh, okay.
They've lost to Georgia Tech and Louisville. Their next games are Miami, Carolina, Virginia, Notre Dame, Duke, Stanford.
Yeah, I mentioned 3 out of the 4 of those 3 of the next 4. So, yeah. I didn't realize they'd played Virginia, but they lost. So, I mean, it doesn't really hurt my point.
No. And by 15.
Yeah, does not hurt my point at all.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he says they won't finish higher than 4, but they will beat Carolina.
They're not beating Carolina.
Scott Shook is calling me right now, but I will call him back because I am on the air. Scott Shook is, I think, going to be our guest tomorrow.
Nice. Is Patrick going to be back tomorrow?
I think so, but he does his annual check-in from Daytona.
Okay.
For the duels, so I think.
Nice.
You got to talk. I can't talk and text at the same time. I'll say what I'm texting.
No talking and texting at the same time. All right, well, I think in the ACC, I think Duke's just going to go out and win it. Even though they lost to UNC, I think they're going to win probably the rest of their games, in my opinion.
They'll step wrong maybe once. You got to lose one you're not supposed to lose.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're going to be just fine and go into the ACC tournament as the number 1 seed for the ACC.
But I think William's right. The State won't finish top 4. I think Carolina, they got Carolina, Duke, or Carolina, Virginia, Miami. I think they maybe might win one of those.
I think Miami's the game to win.
Miami's going to be feeling pretty good about themselves this weekend.
They're
going to walk in, chest out, feeling good.
The problem is State plays really good at home. They are a good home basketball team. They almost beat Kansas at home. It took it to overtime. And with them being good at home, they are playing Miami at home. So it could go either way. I think if they do beat Miami, then obviously they're walking in strutting against UNC and Duke with 2 of their next 3 games. So that could be big for them. But Will Wade kind of set them up to be the best, a top 3-4 team in the conference with what he was saying coming in.
Yeah.
So and the people he brought in. So I think he set them up to think they're going to be there. So they kind of, he's making it harder on himself.
Yeah, he is. And now I think Virginia and Miami are better than we thought they were going to be. So that's got a lot to do with it. But I think, just in my opinion, I think they're good. I don't think they're great. They might just be decent, honestly, and they're going to finish, 6th or 7th, and they'll squeak into the tournament, and they'll win one game, maybe. They'll be at 10.
I think it's tough because Darian Williams just hasn't been as good as he's needed to be this season. He's had too many inconsistent games where he's shooting less than 30%, and then he'll have a big 20-point game, and he's still really not shooting that well. So with him being their best player, it needs to be better.
All right, thanks, Henry. You got to go produce. Have fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Catch Dom on the ECU Sports Network. ECU basketball coverage is next. Thanks to Dom. Thanks to William. Thanks to DeMarco. Thanks to Jay Sonnhalter. I'm Philip Pilkington. PJ is supposed to be back tomorrow, and it sounds like we're having Scott Shook, who's trying to call me right now. Have a good one, everybody.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and